a great time today. We are in Stoughton, Wisconsin. We are at the Stoughton Fair, the 97th annual, and we're doing ribs today.
Ribs, man, ribs.
We'll be right back with more Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling right after this. Woo!
Pit Boss Grills presents Mad Dog and Merrill Midwest Grillin'. Brought to you by Pit Boss Grills, Griddles and Accessories, Louisiana Grills and Smokers, The Power of Wisconsin Potatoes, Sundrop Soda, Cherry Delight, Awesome Shrimp and Seafood, Shooting Star Casinos, the Wisconsin Agriculture Tourism Association, and by Lashbro Visual Communications.
Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
And we are going to have a great time today from Stoughton, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Stoughton, Wisconsin. 1847, Luke Stoughton moved to this area, and it became a wonderful Norwegian settlement with about 75% of the settlers all Norwegian. I'm finally in the majority here with these two.
Yes, you are.
These two Irishmen over here.
Irish. Where do the Irish go?
And it is a great little Norwegian settlement, and they pride themselves. There's a beautiful heritage center downtown called Life's Journey Heritage Center. It maintains the history and culture and keeps it alive of the Norwegians, and that's a great thing. Besides the many other great reasons to come to Stoughton area, the beautiful Opera House.
Oh, was that great?
Beautiful Opera House, all refurbished in the late 1980s and 1990s. Gorgeous place, beautiful acoustics, and they still have musicals and plays and folk music and everything going on. You got to go to visitstoughton.com to learn more about that. And we'll talk more about Stoughton in a minute. But let's talk a little bit about the beautiful meat that's in front of us.
All right, we do have beautiful meat.
We've been vindicated.
Oh,
we've been vindicated by the vindicator.
I know. You know what I like? I see some fat here.
Exactly.
Not here, but on there.
So the
That's
pork that we
amazing.
have in front of us, if you're connoisseurs of good pork and you've never had Mangalitsa, you'll be surprised. Mangalitsa pork comes from Hungary.
Right.
It's got fur on it. It's a Hungarian hog that was raised for the lard and only the lard back years ago. It was used for oils, it was used for lubrication, it was used for lard for cooking with.
Sure.
It went near extinction down to about 200 hogs in Hungary. And
Really?
then you figured they had to bring it back. So that the Hungarians do is they used it for sausages, because as a rule, a lean cut of pork is only about 30 to 40% fat, marbleization.
Right, exactly.
A good cut of pork's about 50, but then you have like the Kobe beef of the pork world.
Okay.
You have the Mangalistas. You have this gorgeous pork right here. It's 75% fat.
75?
75% fat hanging
Oh,
on
you
the
know what? I'm
carcass.
75% fat too. That feels doggone good.
I'll tell you what, if you've never had the Mangalista pork, you go to vindicatorbrand.com, vindicatorbrand.com. It's farm to table, directly delivered to you, or they have other ways to get it to you. But great folks, we have Susan and Peter in the audience with us today, the Joneses. Great farmers. We'll talk more about their pork in a minute or two.
Okay.
But it's phenomenal stuff. We have a slab of their ribs right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to create some flavor. Now we're in Norwegian country here,
Right, you gotta
so
do
the
something
Norwegians,
Norwegian.
they love their horseradish.
Oh,
So
man,
we're going to take horseradish and we're going to plop that on top of our rack of rib, and we're going to take some garlic, and we're going to take a little bit of brown sugar, and we're going to make kind of a glaze on both sides, a little wet rub, if you will. Now this is that Mangalista pork, and it's 75% fat. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous marbleization, and it's so delicious, so tender. But they also do a blend with the Hereford pork,
Right,
and so it's a
okay.
little less fat if that's what you're into. But it's the most gorgeous stuff in the world. So we have that on top of there. Now we're just going to create a little rub on top of there. So on the rub, the Norwegians, when we were in Stoughton, you've signed a lot of tarragon. So they use a lot of tarragon when they cook, and they use a lot of allspice.
Okay.
So we're going to do allspice with that. Now these are unusual rubs, but there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just on how you cook
There
it.
is a do your own choice.
And I'm going to do a little paprika, just because I want that little golden
Take a
flavor
little
on top
color
of there.
there.
And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We have the tarragon there. Now these racks of ribs, there's so many ways to do racks of ribs. You can slow cook them on your pellet grill, on the
Right.
Pit Boss grill. You can sear them up on both sides, wrap them in foil, put them off to the side, and that works well. And you can do the way we're doing. On the inside today at the Stoughton Fair, they're doing a rib dinner.
Yes.
So we're going to do all ribs here today. And on the rib dinner, they have a dinner all in one, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our little rack of ribs.
I love
I'm gonna
it.
sear that baby off, but what we're gonna do now is we're gonna, through the magic of science,
Watch this, Freddie. He's pretty quick.
I think I can do it right on top
I
of
don't know what
it.
he's going to do, but watch this. Ladies and
You do?
We're gonna take a little sheet of aluminum foil. I've got a seared up rack right behind me.
gentlemen. All right.
Good catch.
Thank you. Look at that
Oh,
gorgeous,
yeah.
gorgeous rack of ribs.
All
A
right.
beautiful line of marbleization there. And that's all seared to perfection. We're gonna place that right there. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a little good old-fashioned
Oh,
sauerkraut.
one of my favorites.
And we're
To
gonna
me,
place that.
pork and kraut, you can't go wrong
We're
with
gonna make
pork and
we're
kraut.
gonna make our own little rib dinner. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna place the kraut right there. I've got some little baby carrots. And we have some baby reds. Good old-fashioned
all
Wisconsin
covered,
potatoes.
man.
We got it all covered. That one's a little too big. We're gonna throw that baby out. Add that on top of there. We're going to do this the right way.
All right.
We're gonna drizzle it with a little maple syrup.
Ooh.
Oh,
We're gonna add a little hickory barbecue sauce of ours.
Ooh.
going to be good.
And this gorgeous Mangalitsa pork bacon right here. Look at that beautiful
Oh,
piece of bacon.
Bacon.
So we're gonna add the bacon over the
I
top.
can't wait to try that. I'll tell you. The fact that there's fat on there.
And that's
Most pork you get is very lean, like you mentioned. This, we got some fat. We
got some beautiful
flavor.
fat on top of there. That's gonna go back on the grill. We're gonna cook that for about 1 hour more, let everything cook together. I've got a couple on there, so don't be concerned.
Gotcha.
We'll get to that in just a moment or two. But Meryl, what you up to today?
Hey, pork on a stick. You know, you always see boneless pork at the grocery store, a lot of times on sale. What I like about this, you see the fat on here? A lot of times you get pork like that, you do not see any fat whatsoever.
That's gorgeous.
on
So
that.
those are the
Right.
country style ribs?
Yep,
And there's
exactly.
there's the label of the Vindicator.
And what I like about this is for the fact there's so many different ways that you can do country style ribs. Obviously, we're going to do the pork on a stick, which on seasoning
Two
today.
left to do?
Go for it, man. Watch that. Watch how he does this. It comes right up the other end. Isn't that something amazing? Just amazing.
You know, with the heat today, I was thinking of a popsicle, but this is a porksicle.
Freddie, you got it, buddy.
Freddie,
Yeah.
that's the funniest thing you've ever said.
That's the
Freddie
only thing
comes
you
out
let
with
me
some
say.
good ones. Now we're using our Grandma Hazel's. That's our biggest seller. It's like a Montreal steak seasoning. Very herby. Got a lot of garlic. Got a lot of onion in there. Got some peppers in there. Now, I didn't oil these whatsoever.
So we're gonna griddle cook these.
Right, we're gonna griddle cook them. Because the main reason for this is that we got enough fat on there. It's gonna crisp right up, and I'm gonna love the flavor on that.
And
You don't
here's the
have to
key
oil
thing:
it.
if probes are hard to use in smaller cuts of meat because each cut of meat is different. Get yourself a good instant read meat thermometer like our Pit Boss one. Take it off at 145 degrees. Take it off at 143, 140. Let it rest a little bit. But 145 degrees, that's the Pork Association's recommendation.
Now, if you like, you can place these right in the smoker at 225 degrees for about an hour and a half, if you like. If you want pork to get done at 145 degrees, people have a tendency to overcook pork all the time. I cannot stress. Freddie's tired of me saying that.
No, and I'm
Don't
never
overcook
tired,
your
no.
pork, 145, and you're fine on there. The other glaze, I like doing a teriyaki glaze when I'm doing pork. Brown sugar, a little soy sauce, a little bit of oil on there. Great flavor. There again, you can brown it up or you can cook it in direct method of cooking on your grill.
So when you come in the next segment, Meryl's going to be doing a little drink. And when you come to the fine city of Stoughton, you've got so much activity, so much art, so much shops downtown
Right.
and restaurants downtown. You got the Viking Brew House, you got restaurants, you got art galleries, shops, you got the Opera House, you got that beautiful cultural center to visit.
Well, you know what I love? You come into town, the houses are just beautiful.
Unbelievable.
They really
They
are.
really are, yeah.
Okay, but it's just phenomenal. Two-story houses, great porches, pillars and everything.
And the Stoughton Fair is great because it's not a county fair, it's not a state fair, it's a Stoughton Fair. Even though they're in Dane County, we're only 30 minutes from Madison. You
Right.
folks in Madison, 30 miles to the north, come on down to Stoughton. You folks over here in the Quad Cities, the folks in Milwaukee, that whole area, Stoughton's just a great place to visit, and it's so close and located. But the fair is open to different counties.
Right,
There's like about
that's
5
interesting.
different counties represented here because it's not a county fair, it's just the Stoughton Fair.
Yep.
And look at this. Our favorite bear says welcome.
They'd be exactly right. You
Isn't
can get
that
the wood
cute?
carvers are here today also. Hey, we'll be right back with more Mad Dog and Meryl's Midwest Grilling right after this.
Hey, welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
From Stoughton Fair in Stoughton, Wisconsin, Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling with Fast Freddy on the keyboards. Give Freddy another big hand! Now, when you come to the Stoughton Fair, it's all kinds of great things. We got the grandstand entertainment. Tonight is the bull riding. We've got the midway. We've got all the eats. We've got the great kids projects on the inside. We had the judging of the cows a little bit earlier here. I think they were the milkers, if I'm not mistaken, by the way they were waddling around. But we'll see what happens there. But that's at the 97th annual. Next year when you come, it'll be the 98th Stoughton Fair. But visit stoughton.com. I got to get these babies off. These babies registered at 142 degrees. Those are the most delicious thing in the world. Fast and furious, no oil, just a nice little gram of hazel. All the beautiful caramelization because of the Mangalitsa pork. 70% pork from our good friends at the Vindicator brand. And I'm going to get those off and I'm going to let those rest is the whole key. I don't want to overcook those babies. Even though there's enough marbleization we could.
Sounds good.
What time is
Go
it?
ahead, Freddie needs a drink.
Freddie,
What time is it?
You know, they got a great brew pub here, Viking Brew.
Yeah.
That's fantastic here. I'm going to use some of their pilsner, but you know what? We're going to make a cocktail.
Well, let's do it.
All right, folks, what do you think we got here?
I don't know. That looks pretty.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Watermelon.
It's halfway with watermelon. This is delicious.
He'll be doing the watermelon crawl.
You better be.
I know that watermelon
The
crawl.
Milwaukee Sports Show, ladies, you'll like this one. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm using a little bit of vanilla. This is vanilla syrup. Same type of syrup that you would use in your coffee. Did you get the coffee shop?
I went over there to the Gypsy Coffee place here and I got myself a nice latte.
You wait, Freddie. You won't believe this.
I'll take a latte.
She said if I put a plug in, I'd get a nice coffee.
I'll put a plug in for the beer guy
Yeah, I
then.
know. All right, Freddie. You won't believe it, folks. You got to try this. This is so refreshing. It is unbelievable.
So the Viking Brew Pub, when you go downtown Stoughton, the Viking Brew Pub is a gorgeous setup. It's got a hand-carved wooden Viking ship inside as part of the bar. It's a gorgeous place. It really, really is. How's it? Oh, you got Prost?
No, we're prosting these things here.
Prost,
Hey.
man. Hey. That's a Norwegian insult.
This is unbelievable.
Did you know that the Norwegians here, speaking of coffee and speaking of the gypsies, the gypsy coffee lady over here, the Stoughton folks, they invented the coffee break. They invented the coffee break. Yeah, so the men would be in the wagon factory, the wagon works, and they'd be working there. The ladies went to work in the tobacco warehouse. And they would have to go home, not necessarily to check on the kids, but get supper going, and they'd always have a slug or two of coffee. And they'd come back to work all perked up and ready to go because they had the coffee. So the owner of the tobacco warehouse says, I'm going to make coffee here. So the ladies could take a coffee break at work and not have to walk back and forth.
Right here in Stoughton.
Right here in Stoughton. How's the drink?
The vanilla.
that's
You know the
phenomenal.
vanilla. You know that's the big deal. It's Prohibition. Remember, you could buy vanilla.
I know, I'm going to become a baker if there's ever prohibition again. Another great fact here,
The vanilla.
The coffee break. Oh, the coffee break. And you know why? Because we're going to do a coffee rub.
Right.
Yeah, so these are beautiful beef short ribs. The short ribs are absolutely gorgeous to do. Now I've got some on the grill for Freddie, but all we're simply going to do is I'm going to take the bone away from these, and I'm going to cook them to 125 degrees is all we're going to do this beautiful. Now we got the bone off there. Now I can grill both sides, and we're going to do a lovely little coffee rub, and it just consists of a little bit of coffee on top of there. So I'm going to place coffee on top of there on both sides. We're going to use a little bit of our up north peppery.
That's my favorite is the coffee.
He's looking. And brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
And brown sugar. Oh yeah, I was just looking for the looking for the recipe.
Garlic, brown sugar,
Yeah.
coffee.
There. That's all it was. And toss that baby on. But because we're at a fair, and all the different kids from the different county at the Stoughton Fair bring products to show.
Right.
I thought we'd ask upon our good friends at Vindicator one more time. And we bought some wonderful lamb because they raise lamb also. So we got some gorgeous lamb chops on the grill. Later this week, we're going to be up in Detroit Lakes.
Yes.
And we're going to film there. We're going to do some cedar plate of these gorgeous lamb chops. But in the meantime, we're simply just going to toss those right on the griddle.
Okay.
This is this beautiful smoked pork steak. Look at the
That's
marbleization in there. They do the smoked meats in there. They do bundles. They do anything you want. They can do monthly or weekly deliveries from the farm to your table. Now, when you're doing smoked meats, it's 2 to 3 minutes on both sides.
Right, that's overcooked.
So I'm going to put them on. I'm going to put them on the side where there is no heat, and on the one of the ones on the hot side, the gorgeous pork steaks. Just when you think you're doing a rib dinner,
Right.
and it's all about ribs, who shows up? Mr. and Mrs. Pork Steak.
That's right, I love pork steak.
I love pork steak,
There's
and we're going
nothing
to do
like
the
it.
same thing with pork steak. We're going to put a little up north peppery on top of there.
Teriyaki pork steak's my favorite.
Is it?
Especially
Let him
got
do
the
this.
fat on there.
He
And
has
by the
Nice
way-
and crispy.
And gorgeous chicken bratwurst. There's no high fructose corn syrup. There's no MSG in all the bratwurst that they produce, and it comes out wonderful. And all the other meats, there's no antibiotics or hormones. They're all raised pasturally in the pasture.
Gotcha, pasture. They're raised pasturally.
So we're going to put those on the grill. We're going to get our pork steaks on the grill.
Yeah, guys.
I think the heat's getting to him.
And they also have a wonderful beef brisket that's all pre-packaged for you, and that's gorgeous
My
stuff.
guys.
I had one. It was delicious.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Oh, the
I just
sandwich?
microwaved it. It was good.
Was it?
This is a Kansas City style steak.
Oh.
So we'll do the beef steak on top of there. I think I'll put a little bit of our,
Yeah, go with Grandma Hazel's, man. Grandma Hazel's good at everything.
you know, I think Grandma Hazel's.
You never rubbed anybody wrong.
Yeah,
No, she didn't. She was here.
yeah. Where'd she go?
I don't know.
Oh,
where
there she
went.
is. She's down in the basement down there. You've been working like crazy, man.
I'll tell you what, the stuff's on the grill. I'll tell you what, when you come back, we're going to show the most delicious dinners of ribs on the grill. Freddie, I did you a beef rib just for you. We'll be right back with
really?
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling right after this. Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. We have a great time here in Stoughton, Wisconsin.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, every mid-May, May 17th, May 17th is the independence of Norway. May 17th is a great holiday in Norway, and here in Stoughton, they celebrate a great 3-day weekend around the May 17th. It's a great holiday here for
Wow.
the Norwegians. So look it up at visitstoughton.com if you would, please. I can only say this part right here in Stoughton, Wisconsin. Through the fields ran 1,000 Swedes, chased by one Norwegian.
Very
Okay.
funny.
I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
I got.
All right, those are those gorgeous chicken bratwursts we just took off the grill. Those are absolutely delicious. The lamb chops, they turned out wonderful, I'll guarantee you. Them lamb
That's
chops,
beautiful.
they're done at about 130-some degrees. They got the beautiful red on the
Oh,
inside.
beautiful,
Just the
man.
way you want lamb chops done, that beautiful steak. Don't overcook your smoked meat products. 2 to 3 minutes on both sides, hit them up. Your ribs on a stick, Merrill, they
Yeah.
turned out just absolutely
Meat
gorgeous, I'll
thermometer,
guarantee
meat
you.
thermometer. You'll never fail. Use a
Nice
meat
moist on
thermometer.
the inside, just a little bit of pink on the inside. They're exactly about 145 degrees, I'll guarantee on those. You can mop them if you want to. Freddie, I made these for you.
All right, let's try them out.
Hold on. The beautiful pork steaks turned out great. I love pork steaks on the grill. Cooked to 145 degrees. I'll take them over ribs some of the time, especially with all that beautiful marbleization from the Mangalitsa pork. And that beautiful beef, I'll guarantee you that baby right there.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And what you're supposed to do is cook it rare, and then you slice it up and you put like a melted mop sauce over the top
Oh.
with butter and balsamic vinaigrette, and that comes out wonderful. So that's that gorgeous beef short ribs there. Here is our rib dinners, and this is what it's all about here in Stoughton this weekend. This baby's falling off the grill. Those are the gorgeous beef dinners. That's got the bacon, that's got the potatoes, that got the rack of ribs. It is falling off the bone with the sauerkraut juice, that gorgeous bacon over the top.
Look at that.
And Freddie, look at the bones over here, just falling off in there. That's the way you want it done. I know for a lot of folks they don't, but when you cook it this style, that's the way you want it done.
Right.
Freddie, these are for you. I took the beef short ribs, I seared them up, and I put them just in a mere sauce of tomato sauce, and they are so tender and falling off the bone. And
You're
that's
a
a
lucky
proper
man,
way to do
Freddie.
those beautiful beef ribs when it comes to being on the bone and top of there. Delicious way to do it.
Good job.
We'll be
Mad
right
Dog.
back to wrap this baby up from Stoughton, Wisconsin at the Stoughton Fair.
All right.
Man, what a gorgeous display. That is protein, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Welcome back, everybody.
I'll tell you what, this is picture perfect, and I'm gonna take a picture of that beautiful protein on the table. You can't find better looking meats than that. Stoughton, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen, come
Oh,
take a
yeah.
visit.
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is a production of Lashbro Visual Communications.